So this morning we're going to go over Client Connect, which is your own personal private website on the Paragon system, and show you some tips and tricks how to get it set up, how to get people to your website, and how to really take the information and control it and help to give your client what they're looking for, which is content, right? That's what they're searching for. So does anybody have their Client Connect website set up yet? A couple people do? You don't? Okay. So how do you send information to clients? Do you send it by email? Okay. So one of the advantages of the Client Connect website is that it allows you to monitor what they're doing without you having to call them or email them, which is what you're doing now when you're sending it to them by email, because you have to wait for the feedback. You have to wait for them to say, oh, this property, that property, let's see this, let's see that. But with the Client Connect, it gives you the ability to allow them to maneuver within the website, making favorites or rejects or maybes, and then being able to search the entire database themselves so that you can keep their interest with you and not have them wander off to another brokerage or agent or other website to gather information for a property they might be looking for. Because after they've given you the criteria, you search for the properties, and then they say, oh, I think I'm going to look for a 3-bedroom instead of 2, and I'm going to search for a property with a garage and blah, 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 blah. So when you get to the Client Connect, it gives them the ability to do their own search, add their own criteria for our entire database. So now you've given them access to the ranch, but guess what? They're still within our fences, which means that we can still corral them and keep the information so that we know what they're doing, where they're going, so that we've got their attention, right? But I'm going to show you how we can keep this, manage this, and give you all that information at the same time. So the first thing we have to do is we have to get the website set up. So for those who don't have the website set up, we're going to go through the preference wizard. And for those of you who do have it set up, just I appreciate your patience for us to go through it with the other people. Only take us a few minutes. So if you do not have your website set up through the Client Connect, then we're going to go to preferences at the top. And we're going to go to the right-hand side. I just have to move this out of my way here. I'm going to go to the right-hand side under System. In the middle, it's Client Connect Preferences Wizard. So we'll click on that. And there's nobody else on the system here, Ann, so I think I'm just going to minimize this for the time being. Sorry? Oh, if you have an iPad, if you're working with an iPad, it won't allow you to do it because iPad and Flash they clash. So, but there's other ways where we can get in and get you to set that up. I'll show you after we do this wizard. Anybody else on an iPad? Just one other? Okay, yeah. iPad and Flash clash, thanks to Steve Jobs. That's another story. But anyway, again, we'll get that set up for you, through another avenue here. So we're going to click on Start. And because my website is already set up, it's going to tell me that this is the name of my website and this is the link that'll take me to my website. However, I want to caution you that you're never ever going to send your client a link to your website by copying and pasting it and send it to an email. It doesn't work that way. The only way you can send a client a link is when you go through the proper aspect or through the Client Connect steps within searching a property and sending it out that way. So you can't copy a link and send it to them and have them go to the website. It doesn't work that way. Because every client that you have through Client Connect and every web page that you send is individual to your client. They all don't go to the same website. They all don't go to the same properties. They each get their own individual listings on their own individual page. So that's why you can never send a link. So for those of you who do not have a website, it's going to ask you to create your web page link, which is this page. So you're going to click on Create, I think is the next button. Is that what it is, or Next? And then it's going to tell you that please be aware that this is permanent. You can't change it, you can't alter it, you can't edit it. It is a permanent web space for you on Paragon, so it can never ever be changed. So just make sure that you confirm it, click Next, and you'll get to the login screen. Dashes? Oh, Yeah, underscore means that you can't have a space in websites. Yeah, that's fine. What's it say? The system will attempt to blah, 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 your agent name. Yep, that's fine. Next.
So next. Okay.
Yep, create site. Perfect. That's where you need to be. Everybody on the same page now? We're on the password page. Everybody got their page created? No? Yep. Next. Create site. Okay. Yep, we're right there. Okay, so everybody should see the password page. Once upon a time, we could get past this page. You didn't actually have to enter a password, but you should be aware that your client will have to enter a password to get to their page because it's specific to the email address that you send out the link to, right? So if you can't click next, which I can because I've already put something in there, but if you can't click next, then just put in a very simple password, 11112016, something that you can know and remember very easily. Put in the password and click on your next. Okay. Next window. This is the agent information. This is the information that's going to be displayed on your web page. So just scan through it, make sure that it looks okay, that your numbers are correct, that it has checked off you're going to display your email address, etc., your image. Again, when people go to your website, there's a main page and there will be the page that they will link into. It's very rare that they'll ever go to your main page because they don't need to go there. They've got the page with the listings. The main page is just your contact information, but that will be at the top of the page when they go into that page with all of their listings. So don't worry about your main page because when we click next, it's going to ask you to pick a banner for your website. Again, I know there's nothing really specific here to our part of the world, except for maybe a farm or a fishing village or something like that. But don't be worried, don't be concerned, because again, the odds of them going to your main page, slim to none. So pick a banner and then click next. And we can always change this too, so don't worry about it being written in stone. So this is your homepage message, and again, we've placed a generic message in there. Feel free to edit that content to whatever you like. Again, it's very rare that you'll have people going to your main page, but if you want to update that, change it, feel free to do that. And again, once we go through this wizard, we can go back and change this at any time. We don't have to worry about this, again, being written in stone and not being able to change it. So then we'll click next. And this says links, add a link. So here's what I have to say about links. And I only say this because go to your room. Years ago, I think I might have mentioned this in a previous class, but I used to build websites for companies. And they'd always say, oh, I got to have a links page. I got to have a links page. And I'd tell them, well, why do you want to have a links page? And they're like, well, I need to give my clients this information. They need to go here. And I said, why would you do that? You spend all your time, your energy, and your money to get them to your web page, and now you're giving them another reason to leave it. Why do you want to do that? And the answer is you never want to do that. Don't give them a reason to leave your website by putting in links. Now, it's different if you're sending them an email and you're putting links in there for them to explore other aspects of the city if they have to be happen to be out-of-town clients. But for your personal website, I discourage you. Feel free to do that. Go ahead. But I discourage you from doing that because links will take them somewhere else and you're going to lose them. You've captured them on your website. Make sure they don't leave your website. Okay. Next. This is the office information that'll be displayed as well. Again, just scan through it. Make sure that it all looks correct. Next. So these are the notification triggers for your Client Connect website. So these are the triggers that whenever anything changes within Paragon, they will be getting emails regarding the changes that we see selected on this page. So if you don't have these ones selected, I would recommend that you do select these. The two in the middle, notify on an open house and notify on tour. I wouldn't worry about that notify on tour. That's more or less for your agent's tour. That's no relevance to your client. And the open house, our open house mechanism is not really designed, what's the best way to put this? It's great for realtor.ca. Whenever we put an open house on Paragon, it'll show on realtor.ca, but it doesn't show in Paragon. So it's very difficult to search a property and know that it's an open house without doing an actual open house search within Paragon. So don't worry about trying to tell your client that there's an open house. Yeah.
And this section is notifying.
I mean, correct. They will notify you as well. You get the notifications as well as your client. Yep. Rejected listings is the, because when you see there, we've got favorite, possible, and rejected. And when we get into the website, you're going to see that right below each of the listings, there's 3 buttons, possible, favorite, reject. Correct. Yeah. Because again, the reason why we're doing this is because it's going to give you the ability to monitor your web page that you've sent to your client without you having to call them or email them to follow up. This is how Client Connect works, in the sense that you can monitor it for any number of different clients and be aware of what they're doing so that you can do other things, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of overwhelming. So many emails.
Yeah. Exactly. Because you're going to monitor it through Paragon. You're not going to monitor it through your email system, right? Yeah.
You mean at the bottom where it says notify? Right here?
Notify on comment added by the agent. That's if you're commenting on a comment that they've sent to you, so that you can actually reply to them through email.
Okay.
Because when you see this option here, it says notify on comment added. It doesn't go to your email, right? The comment goes through Paragon. You have to go into Paragon and monitor this. It's not going to give you this information by email. So just be aware of that. So once you've got these selected, your triggers, we're going to go next. And these residential, commercial down to vacant land, I wouldn't bother selecting them. If you do, then you're going to restrict it to just whatever you've selected. So do not select anything. Leave these all selected. Now at the top search option under new and edit, there's a couple of options in here that you should be aware of. And the first one is that if you want to be able to control the content that your client is getting after the initial link has been sent to them and they view the listings that you've sent to them initially, we're going to have triggers that will then send your client the new updated information based on the triggers. But if you want to see that information first and then decide whether or not they should receive that information or forward it, then you would select this one at the bottom, Agent Preview. Now, if you do it here, you're doing it for everyone across the board, but you can do it individually for each client once you set them up and get them linked into your web page. So if you don't want them, or if you don't want to see what they're receiving or potentially could be receiving and have to approve it, then you would just say new and edit. But if you want to be able to control the content and review it first, then you would go down to Agent Preview. So in this section, it does it across the board. When we do it per client, we can then set it up individually. So we click Next. It says, congratulations, you're done. Not really, but we're halfway there. So we close. So we go up here to Preferences. This is how we get back into the system. Once we've gone through the wizard, it just kind of helps us to walk through and get the core information into our website. But to get back into the system to be able to edit content, we go to Preferences, and on the left-hand side, then we're going to go to Client Connect. So when we click on Client Connect, that opens up a menu system on the left, which then gives us the pages that we can actually use and set up. So Anne, for you, you're going to have to go into a PC machine, like a laptop or whatever, to get your page set up. You can't do it on an iPad. So anybody else who has that iPad, you have to go through in that wizard to get that initial page set up. Once you've done that, then you can come into here and you can modify, change, update whatever information that you want. Okay, so now everybody's got a web page on the internet. Now it's time to set up your client, get them receiving information. So here's how we do it. So we go to search, go down to residential. Oh, sorry. Backtrack. My mind was somewhere else when I did that. Okay, so in order to send anything through Client Connect, you always have to go through the client first. So you go to Contacts, go down to View, Manage Contacts. Now, if you're going to work with any one of your current clients, you'll see that there is a hyperlink on each one of the names within your contact folder. And to begin the Client Connect and get that, get those properties sent to that individual through the website, you would begin by clicking on the client's name. Again, it opens up a menu system on the left, and we get all of our updates and changes ready to make on the right. So here's what we're going to do. We're not going to work with the current client. What I want you to do is I want you to set up a fictitious individual on your system. But I also want you to put in a valid email address so that we can actually view the email and then follow through so that you know exactly what's going to happen when your client clicks on that link. So up the top left, we're going to go add new. We only need 2 pieces of information to continue with the contact, but we're going to put 3 in. So I want you to put in a first name and a last name, and again, it can be your name if you want to put it in there, or another fictitious name. And down under home email address, put in a valid email address that you have access to today so that you can check it on your computer. So again, we can look at the email, follow through with the password access, and know what your client's going to actually receive. So put in a first name, put in a last name, and put in a valid email address. And once you put in the email address, click primary on the right-hand side so it knows that it is the primary address. Now we can also go down to the bottom here where it says add the spouse and the secondary to notifications. So if there's another email address that somebody has for their spouse or significant other, we can put them in as well so that they will receive the web page as well. But what they have to be aware of is that if they don't get 2 individual websites, they actually get the same page. So when one goes on and clicks certain things, it will be shown as such for the other member as well. So they don't get 2 pages that they interact with individually. It's one page that they then look at together. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, they can't. No. If you wanted to. Yeah. Yeah, if you wanted to do it that way, you'd have to set them up separately as separate clients with 2 separate email addresses. Yep, you can do it that way. Yep.
Not getting along that much.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess I better put this in here, otherwise I'm not going to be able to continue. Okay. So once you've done that, we're going to go up to the top left and click on Save. That opens up to, again, our menu on the left. It asks us to confirm the information that we've placed within our contact folder. So, I mean, we can, again, enter other details with whatever other information that we want to for our particular client. We can categorize them within a particular group or add other information, et cetera, to that contact. Which is probably a good idea because, again, when you get down here to your source comments, I always recommend that if you meet somebody and they're working with you as a new client, you sell them a home, just put some details in there so that when they do call you 3 years later and they go, hey, how's it going? Remember me? Blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden you're at your computer, you go, blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, I remember you. Remember that open house? Blah, blah, blah. Just helps to kind of remind you because we have a tendency to forget about people
So
after.
They don't see that.
No, they don't see this is all. This is just your resource. So it's a place for you to put in additional comments about where you met them, what connection you may have to that particular individual, just to kind of help refresh your memory whenever you talk to them again or meet them again. Okay, so once we got that information in there, we make sure that they're an active client up in the top left-hand corner here. We go next. And this is where we're going to add the search. So we click on Add New Save Search. Now, if you had a loaded Save Search, we could do that as well because you could actually go in to Paragon, do your searches, save it, and then if you say to yourself, oh, that information, I'm going to send that information, we can then load the existing saved search from Paragon if we've done a previous search that we've saved. So for this example, we're going to say Add a New Save Search. It can be for whatever class. So this one, again, we'll pick residential for this example. Guess it's too late to make sure this is on, but it is. Okay, excuse me. So here's our search window. So again, we're just going to search for particular properties that we're going to send our client. There's two ways to do it, of course. We can do it through entering our criteria and narrowing down, drilling down through our list and finding the properties we want to send them. Or did I show everybody the mapping, how to map and do a box and find your properties that way? Okay, so you can do it that way as well. But here's the catch. Whenever we're sending listings to our clients, we have this tendency to edit the content. And what I mean by that is when you're going through Paragon and you're searching for properties and they've given you a limited amount of criteria and all of a sudden you come up with 35, 45 listings, we think to ourselves, oh my gosh, I can't send wasn't the nuclear button, was it? I haven't lost my track of.
So sorry. I just wanted.
Thank you, Ann.
I wanted to see if anybody was online asking questions. Right.
Okay. Did somebody just come online here?
It was me.
Oh, it was you. Okay. So again, you have 35, 45 listings that you potentially can send your client, and then all of a sudden we think, wow, I can't send them that many. How are they going to chew through that? And they're going to be inundated with 45 listings that I can't do that. I've got to bring it down to a more manageable number like 15, maybe 20. When you're using Client Connect, I discourage you from editing your content. If you see 35, 45 listings, then send 35, 45 listings because when we get into the website, you see how intuitive and easy it is to navigate these properties. You'll have no problem and your client will have no problem as well. Because again, if you have 35 potential properties, don't remove the property that you could be selling them by editing your content. Don't edit it. Send that many. And again, when we get through all of this and you see it, you'll go, they won't have a problem. Yep.
Goal for logics. Yeah, like send property after property. Let them weed through it and know that they'll contact you. That's kind of what I'm doing with right now. Goal for logics. Because I have somebody that wants to set up on this 4 different areas. A very common price range. Goal for logics would say that 2 properties you have to trim it down. Is that option up on this too?
No, there's no limit to what you can send. There's no limiters. Yep, nothing.
It'll show you the number.
Yeah, it'll show you the number count.
So you decide.
Yeah, but those logics, like You'd have to do one for Sackville and then one for Bedford, you know what I mean?
You couldn't combine your districts or areas.
What's that?
You couldn't combine your districts or...
You could, but if it was over 100 properties,
yeah,
then it
wouldn't do it. Yeah, no, you don't have to worry about that in this. No
The
limiters.
initial one you send them, that's when there's always so much property.
Right.
And after that, it's just...
Oh, yeah,
the
just
new ones.
trickles through.
But
Yeah.
on the old system, give them the initial email.
That's right.
And it would say, oh, you gotta
Yeah.
put it down some.
Yeah. Yeah, we're dealing with a Ferrari instead of a Ford. Big difference. Okay, so we put in our criteria and just see if I have anything. I don't have anything here. Okay. So what I want you to do is let's all put in the same information so we all get the same properties. We all can view the same details on websites. So we're going to pick listing status will be active. And the region will be Halifax, Dartmouth. And the district will be Bedford. And the sub-district we'll pick is 20A. And the price range we'll pick will be 220 to 270. Let's see how many we got. 7? Yeah, let's get more than that. 330. 22. So we're going to pick a price range from 220 to 330. Active, Halifax, Dartmouth, Bedford, 20A. So you should have 22 properties. I've got price, active, Halifax, Dartmouth, 20 and 20A. That's all I've got. Yep. Okay, do you have anything else? If you look right here in the top, right below your number count, just make sure that you have exactly what we have. If you don't, you might have an extra field in there. Yeah, take out NSAR. Just click the X to the left of it. Got it? Not sure why that's pulling out that information. That's a good question.
Just clear it all and do it.
Yeah.
Just clear the whole thing and try to...
She has it now.
Oh,
I have NSAR,
okay.
so I'll still have the district, but sub 28. So
No, you're right. That,
it still is NSAR.
oh, yeah.
There's no other district.
But that board ID, I would remove that from your search criteria. The only reason why we had that was because when the AVR EB was on board last, when did they come on board? Can't remember, last December? January? We had to do the separation, right, because we had the interboard search active, but right now we don't have anything of the sorts. We're all one board, one association. No, you haven't been wrong. You just need to... Yeah. I'll check that afterwards. We'll have a look at that and see if we can find the...
Rebecca wants to know what the difference is between active and all active.
Oh, okay. What they do is in the list of all active, they include leased properties, which we don't deal with. So just put active. You don't have to put it. You can use all active, but that just includes any leased properties, which we don't deal with or have in the system. Yep. Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm. 22. Okay, so there might have been something there that was selected that was causing the error. So good. So we're good. So from here, we have the properties. We're going to now search the properties, top right corner next to your number count. And when this comes up, you're going to notice something different. We have 2 additional buttons at the top. So below are the 22 properties that we've searched. And we're going to send all of these properties. So we're going to click on the box at the top of the listings in order to select all of them. We have to do that because that's the only way that it's going to take those properties, link them to our web page. And at the top, we have two options, save the search or add to the cart. Now, save the search is just saving it so that we can then use it at a future date with any other client. But for this example, we're going to add it to the cart because we're adding it to the client that we're now working with. So we get a little pop-up. It says selected, all listings, current listings. So we're going to go selected and then save it. Successfully added. So now where do I go? I don't see a next button or a arrow button or anything of that sort. I've added it to the cart, but where did it go? What do I do? Sorry? Yeah, exactly. Go back to the client, which is where? Yeah, right here. Click back on the client tab because it's saved to the client. Good answer. If I had prizes, I'd give you one.
If you go to time,
Yeah,
to the search, it says,
correct.
but if you're searching, when it,
You're going to save the search, and then when you go through the client, it's going to ask you to load a new search or a save search. Remember that button that we had, new or save? You click on saved. So from here, we've got our content, so we're going to click on next, and everybody should see a gold star, except Dan and Chelsea. Okay, everybody have a gold star? Perfect, that's where we need to be. So as we scroll down the page, we have our options. Notifications options are off. We have no notifications. We have email notification, and we have Client Connect. We don't want to select anything else but the Client Connect on the bottom. So click the radio button and then scroll down your page because it will then allow you to go further down your page. And you'll see here that we have agent recommended, 22 undecided, and right now favorites, possible, and rejected are all 0. Perfect. So site configuration, send notification to the client should be on. And then we have a couple of options here, notification settings and the Client Connect preferences. So the first one we click on, notification settings. Yep. The registration. I have to have a look at that one. I haven't seen that one before. Okay, do you have, can I just...
That is the name there.
Yeah.
That's agent recommended, like this.
There we go.
Why?
Software glitch.
Why me?
I don't know. What's that black cloud above you mean?
Nice guy here.
If at first it doesn't work, just try it again. Okay. So once you click on that link, notification settings, it opens up into a new window. And the default range is going to be 1 year. So it's going to send this information to your client up to 1 year. That's what the default is. So you can leave it at that. Just make sure when you do sell a property to your client, you take that, disable it or turn it off so that they're not getting any more notifications, or you could just turn it into 3 months, 4 months, whatever you want to do. So down below here, we've got notification trigger, price change, new match, and new comment. I want you to click on the magnifying glass to the right, and I want you to add status change. So if the property is sold, then they're going to know that it's been sold or expired or off, whatever.
So do we have to do these settings every time?
On this, no. Once you select that, you're good. For every client you will, yeah. No, not every time it goes out. Once you set it up for that client, yeah, you're good. So now it's client scheduling. So when it becomes available on the system, it'll go immediately. But if you have a client that is on the road traveling and they tell you, don't send me anything through the week because I'm busy, I get emails, I've got business, don't bother sending me anything until Friday night at 8 when I'm home, I'm finished, I'm ready to go. So you say, sure, we can do that. So we click on recurring, we click on the set time frame. I can then click on weekly, Friday at 8 p.m. So they will not get any listings until Friday at 8 p.m. Yep. You have to do that. Yeah, because initially agent recommended are the listings that you found when you did your initial search. Everything after that, we'll just find whatever's triggered based on the criteria that you've entered into the initial search. But is it showing agent recommended now? Yeah. Okay. So do you have anything on your system that shows previous clients and the listings that you're sending out, like on your contact? Yeah. So after we do this, just we'll have a look at that and I'll see if it's been set up. Yeah. No. Okay. Once we finish this, I'll just have a look at your computer. We'll just kind of go through your client to see how you got it set up. You might have done it right, just inadvertently through another way that connects the properties. But yeah, we'll check that. So again, you can send it immediately or you can just pick a time date for themselves. You can do the same for yourself at the bottom where you can send them to yourself immediately or you can send them to yourself at the end of the day so that you're not inundated with random emails throughout the day. So once you've done that, you then click OK. Blah, blah, blah. Client recurring time. So I got to set that back to immediate. Okay. The second one, Client Connect Preference Wizard, or sorry, Preferences. This is what we've already gone through, which was through the wizard, which just basically makes sure that the details of your web page are correct. So once we've got that set, you'll notice on the bottom, we've got Setup Complete and Site Information. So the first one, we're not going to click on it yet. It's send the link. This is the email that's going to go to your client that'll allow them to click on the link, set up a user password to access that web page you're sending them. Plus you can enter any other details that you want in here. And again, once we go through the view site, then we're going to go through this process so you know what you see. So on the bottom here it says view the site. So we click on that, and this is only for you to just have a look at the site to be sure what you're sending them is actually compiled and ready to go. Do not click on anything in this page because what you're doing by clicking on it is that you're altering the page your client will see. All you want to do is just have a quick look at it. Yep, all looks correct. Everything looks fine. No problem. You close that page off and then you go back and then you send the link. So here's what happens when your client gets into this web page. So it automatically loads to your listings, to the listings that you've selected for them. Here's your home page. Right? Again, odds are them going there, slim. Go back to your listings. This is exactly what they are going to see. So here's all your details at the top right, your information, your email. Then you can click on contact. And this is where they can send a direct email to you, right? So again, we've got two aspects of how we can communicate with somebody on this web page. They can click on comment and they can send a comment through Paragon, or they can click on contact and they can directly contact you through your email, which I recommend because again, if you're on the road and you're busy and you don't have time to check Paragon and they send you an email or a comment through Paragon, you're waiting for it or they're waiting for you and they're waiting, you're not responding. Just recommend that when they click on a comment and send it that you don't receive it the same way as if you would an email immediately, okay? So make them aware of that contact link at the top of the page. So here's their listings. So you've got a rookie behind the computer and they're wondering, what am I supposed to do here? Oh, a second here, there's a need help button here. What's that mean? I don't know if we have audio here, but we'll check.
Welcome to your agent's Client Connect website. This site has been designed especially for you to view the...
Don't worry about it. Right here, top right, need help. So what it would do is it's a 1.5-minute video of a guy telling you what you need to do on this website and how to navigate it. So basically, this is it. So they see the first listing. They can navigate through the pictures right here, or they can click on the main photo, and it will open up the photos full screen. They can view the detail of the property, in other words, viewing the listing cut of the property right here. Then they go back to this link here, views. And this is what they're going to do. They will look at the map. They'll see number 1 and they'll go, oh, number 1, here it is right here. Here it is on my map, so I know exactly where it is. They have a look at it and go, well, that might be a possibility. So they go right here, possible. Click. And what does it do? It goes right up here under possible. So we have favorites, possibles, rejected. And every time they click favorite, possible, rejected, that's where those listings will go. So we're categorizing them. They are categorizing them so that you know, without having to call them, email them, but through Paragon, I'll show you that in a moment, what they're actually doing on this website. So they get to, what's that again? No, we haven't sent the link yet, right? Only when you're sending the link. Yep. Yep, sure can. Yeah, because once you click on rejected, good question, can I actually get it back to, or if possible, can I actually move it to my favorite or rejected? And that option is still available at the bottom. So you can continually work through the properties, deciding which is a possible maybe or a favorite. So we go down to the next one. We have a look at it. Too close. Don't want to live that close to somebody. Reject, right? So again, it doesn't matter how many are here because the client is working through a very small navigation of a property to decide, is it a favorite, is it a reject, or is it a possible? So that's what they're going to do initially. Tell them. First of all, go through there and decide what you like as your favorites. Then when you've gone through and decided what are favorites, go through and look at the details more carefully or more in detail, right? So then here's the great thing about going through this website. And again, we have that fear of a new client going to an open house or talking to someone else and all of a sudden, whew, they're gone. We've lost them, right? So with this website, we have the ability to give them the entire content of the NSAR. And this is how they do it. They go up here to new search. Select a property class, continue. It's going to be residential because that's what we have sent them initially. Loading the form. So just note, listing status is active, conditional, and sold. That's what we put in as a default because we know that sometimes the clients aren't quite aware what maybe they should be putting in there, but we do this automatically because you may be aware that previously you couldn't search the sold property, right? They may want to search a sold property because they want to go and see what type of prices. Yeah, right? Now we're allowing them to do that within this website. So if they want to know what a house up the street sold for, well, guess what? They can now do that. So we've given them more power. Right? So yeah. So, I mean, they may not be aware of that, but we put that in there at default so that it does allow them, they look at it and go, oh, I can search sold properties here too? Cool, way to go. So now they got the power of the entire database. They can search whatever they want, wherever they want. No limits, no restrictions, except, yep.
When they're searching that, as a
That's a good question. Let's find out. way
Those are the email. This is.
yeah. No, not email.
The site. This is a site. Oh, that's
Yeah, we're viewing the site, but I'm acting as a client.
I would say it ought. It's not gonna set.
Yeah, what they're going to view is they're going to view exactly what they've received initially. So when they do their search, it's going to bring these properties up the same way that it did initially.
even the agent.
Yep.
Like, does it say what the listing brokerage is?
Okay, let's find out. Nope, not in there. So again, you still have control. They're not going somewhere else. They're not going to call somebody else.
I mean, like that, it's not that
Yeah,
go on clicking a.
no,
See,
that's right.
that's why I wanted to ask.
Yeah, because when they search it, they're going to get the same, it's going to grab all this data and pull it into their,
Break off.
yeah. So they still have that option to go favorite, possible, and reject, right? So we're still able to keep control of the data by funneling them into an area where we can manage the information. So once they've done that, they've searched properties, they've had favorites, rejects, et cetera, et cetera. Meanwhile, you're at home, you're working with another client. You go to Paragon, we click on home, and we have to refresh it because it won't update automatically. And when we go here to our Client Connect activity window or widget on the front page, right here, this shows us that we have new activity too. Oh, great, what's that all about? So we click on it, goes into our contacts folder, opens up to our client, and this shows us that Tom Smith has one possible and one reject. Okay, so the other thing they can do is that if they go in here and you'll see, again, there's two ways to contact. I recommend that you tell them to contact you by email, but if they don't and they contact you by comment right here, and they write a comment, and they click comment, that's now gone. Click close, go back to Paragon, we refresh. Go to our new activity. So under Tom Smith, you can see right here, see his little text box? Means they sent me a text message or a text, they've typed something into the comment box on the web page. So I click on that voice box, text box, whatever you want to call it. Opens up into a new window. And all I have to do is just keep clicking on the text box because that will take us into managing the comments. So here's our comments. Click on it. Let's see this one. So I could write here, sure, no problem, blah, 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 blah. Now, when you communicate with them, it goes to their email. It doesn't go to their web page for them to have to find it and read it. So now you're communicating by email, and then they'll reply to you by email, right? So you've got that connection outside of Paragon. So try to manage it that way and communicate it that way to your clients so that they don't send comments waiting for you to reply when you're not at your computer. So once you've looked at your listings, you can close that window off. Then you're going to go back to Paragon, and because I've refreshed this, I've lost it, but I'm going to get it back here in just 1 second. Agent recommended. Client. So what you'll do is I want you to click on Send Link and make sure that your valid email address is at the top so that you can actually see the email. And then I want you to click Send, and then I want you to follow through with the prompts that you get by email so you can understand how they're actually going to go to your website by creating a password.
It's okay.
Okay, got it?
Yeah. I keep on getting this, and I deleted any client that.
Oh, it says one or more recipients has opted out of your
But I
receiving emails.
deleted all of the ones that I thought
Did you?
might. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's been popped up since.
It's somewhere in the system. That's why it keeps recognizing it.
I would know who,
Mm-hmm.
checked.
Yeah. Does it work for everybody over here? Yep. Send the link and then check your email. Go in and click on the link. It'll take you to a password window. Scroll to your bottom. Yep, send link. There's your link. You can edit that or whatever. Just don't take out the main content because that's the link. And then click send, send. And then check your email and then follow through the prompts and make sure that everything works. Just so you understand what they're going to get when they receive the email. So if they call you and say, I got this email, what am I supposed to do here? You talking to me?
There you are.
There you go.
All right.
Okay. So again, I think I mentioned this before, but if you're going to send information to your client without going through the website, don't send them a PDF because you cannot send multiple PDF documents or multiple PDF listings to your client. Always send it to them as a link. Because when you send it to them as a link, it gives them a really nice window to navigate through and be able to view the properties, the photos, the listing cut, and a very easy to manage window that's very intuitive for them to use. And again, when you send a link, if there's any updates to the property, then they will get that automatically when they click on the link again, as opposed to just sending the property listing by email. They get a one-sheet listing cut that will never be updated. It's static, right? So how many of you believe that's probably going to be an easy way to send information now through Client Connect? You should have come and see me, Ann.
I didn't know that I didn't know.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Scroll down. This on C. One that
Mm-hmm.
please don't. No.
Opt out. It's an opt out. Yeah. Yeah, because what we have to do now because of the Canadian law is that we have to give them the ability to opt out of any email that we send them, whether it be individual or company. Yeah. But what you have to be aware of is that when you go into your client contact list, if you see this icon right here, which is an envelope with an exclamation mark, that means that they opted out of the email. That means they clicked on that link and said, don't send me anything. Now, sometimes somebody might have done that by accident and not meant to do that, but you need to go into your contact folder and check that regularly because if it's somebody that you know well and you're sending them listings, all of a sudden you're not going to be able to send them anything because it's all going to bounce back because they opted out. And if that's the case, you need to get them opted back in. And I don't know if I put that document in here or not. But email me if that's the case because I need to send you a document that will allow them to opt back into the system. Oh, there it is there, right there. So here's the link. You just open up the PDF, follow the step-by-step instructions to get them opted back into your email. But always be conscious and be aware of going into your contact folder and just scanning it every now and again. Be sure that if anyone did opt out that you can get them back in or that, again, they may inadvertently had done it by accident. Sorry?
Saying, my client sent the link, this is how it's going to go. Well, that they would know it's coming. God's up to them. I was thinking now that I'm working. There's Toronto, sending car and I'm sending stuff. Daughter, like I'm like, oh yeah. This would because I've got this person saying yes, this person saying no. Yeah, bless this this. Because we're selling the link, like send me PDF. However,
Yeah.
that's the old logic way.
Yeah, that's it. Yep. Reverse prospecting. I know we talked about that the last time I was here. Reverse prospecting? Yeah, it's more, I haven't talked to anybody or met anybody who actually does it. I mean, they explain it to me in very broad terms, and it just doesn't make any sense to me of how or why you actually need it or use it. It's That's right. Yeah. Yeah. Reversed, I mean, I can find out and get more of a definition, but I've never met anybody who ever uses it. I mean, they put that in there because in some districts, like in the States, they use certain aspects of, they don't do business the same way that we do here in Canada. They've got a different way of prospecting for clients and getting their business, so to speak. So, mm-hmm.
There's all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if the client believes that first set up a blog,
Yeah.
or way of finding the site, having that
Nope.
send.
You can resend it. Yeah, you just go back into their contact, go back into agent recommended, scroll to the bottom, send link again.
And they'll get new email, like every time notification.
Yeah, they'll get an email telling them that the link, they get a link that the property has now been updated.
Somewhere and says, oh, how do I create a site?
They have to have that link. Yeah. What you should do is make sure that they, in that email that you're sending them, say do not delete this email, save the link because there's no other access other than through this link. Yeah, good question. You could. Yeah. All you have to do. Okay, so they get the link, they're on their phone, right? And they don't want to go back into their email and click on the link. They actually want a shortcut on their desktop to be able to click on it and go back into that web page whenever they wanted to. Yeah, you can do that. All you have to do is yeah, that's right. When they open up that link on the page, I know on Apple at the very bottom you'll see a little envelope with an arrow pointing up. If you click on that, it gives you the option to save it to your desktop. Yeah, so add it to the home screen. Yep. Yep. Am I done? Never done.
I want to know why. I just tried.
Yeah. No. When you send a comment, it doesn't go to your email. The comment goes directly to the Paragon contact information folder. Remember I showed you?
So then you essentially would have to log in every day.
You have to. That's why, again, when I tell you, or I recommend that once you send that link to your client, is that if they want to contact you, to click the contact folder at the top of the page. That way they connect to you by email. Right? Do you want me to show you that again? Okay, so again, if you want to just have a look here at the screen, I'll show you a couple other things. So when you go into your client folder and you see that there is a plus sign here, the plus sign, when you click on it, opens up and shows you the link to that particular client and what you've already been sending them. So let me just get in here and we'll have a look at that page. The plus sign just means that you've sent them, they're already set up with Client Connect website with their own individual page. So again, here's the link right up here, contact. So again, there is a comment box. If you're chatting with them saying, I'm sending you the link, you'll see that there is a comment box below the property photo, but if you don't mind, go to the top, click on contact. That way I'll get it to you by email. It won't go to me through my software, right? Just so that they're aware in case you have somebody who really, when they email you, they expect you to reply to them within 4 minutes, right? Yep. That's what we're trying to do now. Yeah, we've already have that in the works where we've sent that numerous times that it should be a comment goes directly to email and not through the system, or both, right? So yeah, exactly. That's exactly it, right? So that's true.
Like there's no practical, I check the morning and check all day.
Yeah, that's right. And we don't. Yeah.
Say, oh, look, there.
That's right. So when they click comment, it actually goes directly into your email saying there was a notification waiting. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. No.
So.
Good point. Yeah, we've already submitted that to them many times and said, you have to change this. Right, so. If you can, and it works, I will be calling you. NSAR has a dedicated technical person that works with us, specifically with us. So whenever anyone in the NSAR has a problem or concern, they email me and I call my contact and go, hey, Tanisha, listen. She goes, let me get on that for you, Steve. And she either fixes it or she'll submit a ticket requesting the change. She's good. What's that? We got a ticket for this. Yeah. That's a good question. It's specifically because whenever you, I guess the best explanation is that when you go to buy a car, you can get it with lots of different options, and sometimes those options will break, whereas the other cars don't because they don't have the options. And when NSAR went to Paragon and said, this is what we need you to build, they built the site from a core site, right? Right, yeah. 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 So they took the meat and potatoes, but they added all the vegetables and all of the other bells and whistles that we wanted on the site. So that's why if you see something doesn't work or something's not right, it's not because the program doesn't work. It's because we haven't requested that information be placed into the software. Yeah, we're polishing it. It's a living document. If you see something wrong or updated, you just email me, and it goes. If it's something that can be changed and updated, I can get it done immediately. If not, sometimes they have to go through the MLS committee, and they have to decide whether or not to have it approved. Like, for example, the sold listings within the search parameters for the client. Right. Yep. Yeah, we're good. Hey, you're welcome, man. No problem. If you need me to come back, just call me. Okay. Sure. Just get them to call me and we'll set up the time. Okay. Oh yeah, I'll do that.
I actually just set somebody up. here, and I don't know where to go from here. I forget where to go from here. I just put
Okay,
searches in.
so click search.
Oh, okay, that's what I was doing.
All right. And then you'll get your tab at the top. So then you're going to go through what you want to send them, add it to the cart, and then go back to the client. Oh, you got to select them all first. No, it's okay. Select all listings. Just click all listings.
Okay.
Okay. Add. Oh, did it? Okay. So go back to your contact right there. That tab.
This guy?
Yep.
First time is LC.
Next.
So if it only gives you half stars, does that mean you're not finished?
No, because you're still in your. Just click next there. Because did you already send them one originally? Yeah. Keep going next. Add save search. So you now did you go into the preferences? That should have added in there. Just click next. One more. Oh no, see it's not even in there. So what you have to do is that you got to go back to your search, add search, and add new save search. Residential. Okay, now you have to put in your criteria and then, oh, wait a second, it's not even bringing that up for you, right? Oh, no, that's right. Okay, so put in your details again.
Just hesitant to put duplicates in, but. Okay, so that's the number I had.
Okay, so search. Okay, select that button at the top there. Was it there? There.
There.
Well, click add to cart. And all listings, save. Okay, and then go back to your client. Okay, and then go next, top right. Client connect, auto notify. Yep, you're ready to go. 166.
Okay, so send link?
Yep.
Oh shoot. How do you know if it took the secondary email? Type that in.
Because it would be displayed right there.
So it didn't take that.
We can check, cancel that. Go back up here to contact information. You got to check that up there.
Here?
Yep.
Oh, I get a message saying you can't do it when I try to save it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, go back, go next.
See?
Your contact, secondary, oh, it won't send one. Oh, that's weird. It must be something they might have changed. Okay, so we'll have to take that out. I'll have to send them an email and find out why that is. And then go back here to HR recommended. Save. Because what you can do is that if you go down to your link, oh, Client Connect. And then send link. What you can do is tell that person that whenever they get to the website, to send that person the link to the web page. So that way they can actually view the web page, but make sure that they send them the login ID that they set up when they go to that web page.
Using for him to know, right?
Yeah. Or you can just let them know that at this time, our system doesn't allow a secondary email address for our searches. So at that time, we can't do anything until we get anything updated. Yeah.
Great.
But thanks for bringing that up, because I'll have to make note of that.
So this success, so if I send this again, is he, I
Um,
think we already sent